What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day today. We got a fun one for you today. So if you guys remember a while back, about a year ago, I made a video that did really well. It got like 85, 90, almost 90,000 views so far. And at the time, my buddy Kevin had his second gen PRO-4X. You see on the channel a bunch if you've been watching the channel. And I had the rough country kit on my truck. So we were doing a little comparison video, but this time we're gonna do the same video, the same route, but our trucks are very similar, if not exactly the same. Let me show you. So here's both trucks now. You guys are familiar with 9. If you're not, this is basically a 2022 Frontier S on a Titan swap and like a 34.5-inch tire. Kevin's is, what year is your truck?
2018.
2018.
PRO-4X.
Yep, PRO-4X. It's on a rough country 2.5-inch strut in the front with a 2-inch spacer. And yep, with those Z1 uppers. Those are the ones that came off of my truck a while back. Here they are. And then what's done in the rear? I forget.
It's got a 2-inch block, 2-inch shackle, and a 1-inch add leaf.
Okay, so is that 5 inches?
5 inches in the back.
His tires are just a hair bigger than mine. These are a 315/75. Mine are a 305. Where's it at? There they are.
It's hiding in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's down here. Yeah, 305/70. So his are just a hair bigger, but other than that, they are identical in height, pretty much in every which way. We got a tape measure out, so we'll show you.
14 inches.
14 inches. Okay, let's do this one.
14 inches.
14 inches. So, we're gonna run that same route we did before, now that both trucks are vastly different than they were, and give you a little comparison. At the end of the video, we'll tell you how much I spent on the Titan swap and how much Kevin spent on his truck suspension, and see if a Titan swap is really needed if you live or if you wheel in areas like this. Now there are a few rules. So Kevin isn't going to use the locker at any time to make it even because I don't have one. So this will be a real apples to apples comparison of the 4-wheel drive system with the amount of lift and just the way the suspension's set up differently. Now obviously the trucks are vastly different, right? Because this is a, what do you say, a 2018, 2019. So those cost different. So we're gonna tell you the price at the end of the video of what we paid for the suspension alone on each truck. So if you guys have ever made a video, you know that any kind of obstacle or climb or anything like that is very flattened out on camera, and there's really no way to gauge how deep it really is. So we brought a tape measure for almost everything. So we're gonna show you how deep this hole is. So that's about the height of it. What is that?
40 inches.
About 40 inches. What I'm standing on here is a little bit higher, but this right here, there's a hump there. That's probably a foot of dirt right there. So this spot is definitely the deepest, 40 inches. So yeah, we're both gonna run them and we'll see how the suspension works. Right there?
Yeah.
Now that looked really easy, and it was, but only because we've done this obstacle hundreds of times. We know the good line, so Kevin's gonna try it in 2-wheel drive. Well, not try it, he will make it in 2-wheel drive because I've seen it before. But anyway, it was easy, but that's a good size hole, so nice and easy. We just straddled it all the way up. Kevin's gonna do the same line probably, but in 2-wheel drive, just to see. It's not wet out here at all today, it's real dry, so he's got a good chance of hooking and getting up here. So obviously knowing the right line makes a big difference. And that's the only reason why we did it with such ease, is because we've done it 100 times and we know the exact right line to take. All right, that one's done. We're heading to the next one. So Kevin lifted a tire just a little bit on the last one. His line was a little bit different than mine. He was a little bit more passenger, which brought that side up higher. So that's why he lifted a little bit more. But also my truck is a little bit wider than his. So it's a little bit different. It's not quite apples to apples, but it's pretty close. So good to see how the trucks perform there. And if whether he was in 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, that really wouldn't have made a difference on the suspension flex. So still good to see. We're heading up to the off camber that I chickened out of last time. We're gonna do that one. And then we're gonna do the steep climbs, show you the approach and departure angles. All right, so we're up to the next little section up here. If you guys remember in the last video, this is the one that I chickened out of last time because it's really off camber. So I got a camera in the truck. I'll show you what the truck readout is for the angle it's at. So we're gonna give that one a shot real quick, so let's get to it. Let's see if I can show you. Of course, it's gonna be really hard to see, but it's a good sized little wall that runs down and around. How do you think that wall is? Like, here? Yeah, the ridge here.
Probably 2 foot, maybe 2 feet.
2 foot? Yeah. All right. This is 20 degrees. $22, $24, $26, $27. Let me show you. 26. It was at 28. I moved a little bit, but she's steep. What'd you read out?
32.
32? Mine only read out 28.
If you'd have run higher.
I was higher?
No, you would have stepped lower in it.
All right, so this will show you some approach and departure angles. This one here, again, you can't really tell on camera, but I'll have a camera in the truck and I'll show you. This is probably, I don't know, 30 degrees. I mean, it's pretty, might be more than that. So, she's a steep climb.
Yeah, you're probably 40 degrees going down.
Yeah, maybe 40. Like I said, I got a camera inside, so we'll show you the what the truck readout is. But take my word, it's steep. This one used to be the steepest, but not anymore. It's kind of washed out a little bit. So this one is the most challenging. So we'll go down, and then coming up is also a pretty good climb. So approach and departure will be significantly important here. That is 13 degrees. That is 19 degrees. That's 20 degrees. So you saw my hitch hit right there. The truck isn't quite high in the back. I spent a lot of money on the front, so the rear is probably about 1.5 inches lower than the front. But I mean, that's fine. So here's Kevin. Yeah. All right, so these are like some little dips and little whoops. This one here and this one here are the deepest. These are like the perfect width for a mid-size truck. When one tire gets here, the other tire is in that hole. So if you don't have a locker or know how to drive your truck, she's gonna be a little tricky. So, and it's a little bit of a hill out, but it's a good size little area. What do you think that is? Probably, I don't know, 1.5 foot deep, foot deep, roughly, on the big ones. So I'm gonna give it a shot and see if we can get her done. Yeah. Yeah. So that was touching the ground. There's not much tread left on that one. If you made it this far in the video, please comment down below, butt pucker. It's such a nice day out today. 57 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful, the perfect Florida day. So that last little obstacle really goes to show you that the rear shocks on my truck are obviously way too long, or way too short. And I knew that going in, but I didn't realize how much of a disadvantage it gives you, even on the front end, with it having so much less flex and articulation. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna throw the Rough Country 6-inch lift, those shocks back on the rear until I can get some nice ones. Because those shocks should, one, give me about 1 inch or 2 more in the rear, and I'll have way more travel in them than these. These shocks really are stock 3rd gen PRO-4X, like those bill signs. That's all they are. So even just sitting flat level on the ground, they're pretty much already maxed out. So they don't have a lot of give in them. Well, they have virtually no give in them at all. So we definitely need to get that taken care of so we can keep our front end on the ground more and not make it so hard on the CVs and get better overall traction. So here's the next obstacle. It's an uphill, probably, I don't know, what do you think? Having like a 8% uphill? Maybe. So let's call it a 7 or 6%. And then a bunch of washouts on the way up. Without a locker, this spot's tricky. You got to get your wheels just right or you're going to be completely flexed out. We're going to come in this side like we did last time in the video, and we're already pretty close to being flexed out. There's the front. Got a little bit of room in the front left, but the back, she's not a lot of droop, but a little bit for them short shocks. Kevin's pretty much all the way tucked back here. Show you the other side. Front, the back is stuffed pretty good. And then Kevin's almost off the ground. He's still on it though. Yeah, he's them bald ass tires. So we're gonna get to it and see if we can make this look easy. here's the last obstacle we're going to do today. This wasn't in the first video, but it's just came up since, and it's a pretty fun one. Pretty big little wash. So we're gonna grab the measuring tape real quick and I'll show you how deep it is, because everything looks flat here even though it's not. All right, so we'll show you how deep the deepest part is.
Good 4 foot.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're good 4
Come right
foot.
the other way.
Well, a good 4 foot.
So she gets a little rowdy.
Driver, driver, driver. Gotta go a little more, driver. Right there. Steer, driver. Hug that stump. Keep it held there. Straight up, straight out, straighten out, straighten out.
So we measured it here. It's my truck is 3 inches wider from the inside of the tire to the inside of the tire. 3 inches wider than Kevin's truck. You said mine was 56 inches? Yeah. So almost 54 or 56 inches. And yours is 53 inches. Wow. There you go. All right, so for my truck, the red truck, just in suspension, I think I'm around like $2,200 for the Titan swap. Now I did get my upper control arms for free. In all fairness, Kevin did too. So, but the Dobinsons, the CVs, the lowers, the tie rods, the 2.5 inch or 2 inch shackles in the back, with shipping, all that, it's about $2,200. Now I didn't install mine because if some of you know, I had that Rough Country 6-inch lift on there before, so you have to weld that cross member back onto the frame, and I'm not a welder. And I wasn't about to try my first time welding on something important like a cross member. So anyway, I paid for the kit to be put on, so there is that. But let's just stick to the suspension, $2,200. Now Kevin's paid a little bit less.
I'm probably 600 in parts on mine. That's not including the Z1 uppers that were given to me. But altogether, probably right around 1,600 altogether with everything. Blocks, lift blocks, struts, the whole 9 yards.
So pretty big difference for essentially the same performance. Let me know down in the comments, do you like the 3rd gen better, or do you like or prefer the 2nd gen better? You guys haven't seen that last video where the original one where Kevin was on like a 33-inch tire and I was on the Rough Country 6-inch drop bracket kit. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and click right here and we'll see you next time.